If you look at the presentation, as I indicated, debt has been very central to all the economic crisis that Ghana has suffered over the years. If you look at all the IMF bailouts that Ghana has gone for, among the issues that participated in those crises have been debt. Debt overhang, unsustainable debt management issues have been one of the main reasons why Ghana has had to resort to bailouts from the IMF. And if you look at the conversation around debt, it tends to be very technical at a very high level, and citizens, it is not broken down to the level that ordinary people can understand. So we all tend to be taken by surprise whenever the crisis hit. And as a result, we of the Economic Governance Platform thought it wise to put together this platform that breaks down the information in a way that people can easily relate to, and also serve as a very reliable source of data that people can work with and have a sense of where we are and where we are going as a nation. It enhances transparency and accountability in terms of how public finances are managed. We as citizens, we should know that at the end of the day, we are the ones who bear the brunt of whatever fiscal crisis or economic crisis that the nation suffers. As we indicated in our presentation, when you do the per capita debt, each one of us is owing upwards of 21,000. There are some people who have never seen that money in their lives. You understand? As Ghanaians. So we should have a sense of where the managers of the economy are taking us to at any point in time. That also informs us in making decisions. It informs us in how we can contribute towards national development. Many people talk about people voting but not being informed. But you ask the question, where are they even going to, if they want to even understand, where would they get that information? And would it be in a form that they will easily understand? This is part of the reasons why we are doing the platform. I think as a country, we need to strengthen the oversight institutions, particularly Parliament. We describe Parliament as having the power of the purse. It's supposed to exercise oversight. It has oversight mandate over the executives in terms of how it manages our national resources. But if you look at it, the ease with which the executive side of government is able to get away with some of these mismanagement, such that it becomes so like a vicious cycle that every now and then we resort to IMF bailout. That means that the oversight that we are having is not strong enough. So this is also a wake-up call to Parliament to put its house in proper order. In a number of serious democracies, the parliaments have what they call the budget office that does very serious scrutiny of all fiscal policies, the budgets, and whatever measures that government fiscal policies that the government put forward, so that they are able to exercise that strong mandate and restrain government in being too excessive in the way they waste public resources. We also, any observer or follower of the publications of the Auditor General, year in, year out, we hear the amount of resources that are going waste or unaccounted for. And the recovery rate is very low. Until we had the former Auditor General who was doing surcharge, who was surcharging people who have been cited in the report to causing some losses to the nation. We were not hearing much as to how much is being recouped from the losses. And that has to be strengthened. That mandate of the Auditor General needs to be strengthened so that it will serve as a deterrent to people who may have in mind intentions of wasting our national resources. Transparency and accountability. And this is a contribution from our end as civil society actors to contribute in enhancing transparency and accountability. So any government that is committed to promoting transparency and accountability must actually be happy that non-state actors are making this contribution.
So the government has.
Well, we invited Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, to be part of this event, but we didn't see any representation here. But we cannot say the reason why they did not attend. Yeah. Every economist will tell you that borrowing in itself is not bad, but what you use the borrowed funds for is what is most important. If we borrow and invest in productive activities, such that we are able to recoup the investment, such that the loans are able to pay for themselves, then we don't have any problem. The challenge is when we borrow and we use it on consumption, on particularly a recurrent, what do you call it, expenditure, and not into capital expenditure. If we borrow and invest it in highways and roads that we are able to tow and recoup our investment in railways, in building, factories and generating income, such that we're able to pay for itself, I think that wouldn't be a problem in itself. But the situation where we borrow and dissipate the money in unproductive ventures, that is where the challenge is. I mean, as you can see on the platform, we have broken down information. You have an idea of the total national debt, which component is the domestic as well as the external. And even when you take the domestic, that one too, we have broken it down, what constitutes the domestic debt as well as the external debt. And with this, it should give us a clear sense of where the nation's debt situation is at any point in time. And that should empower us to be able to ask the right questions as to where the nation is heading, so that we don't get to crisis points before citizens wake up from, excuse me to say, our slumber, so that we can hold our duty bearers to account to manage things in a more sustainable way. In addition to this, we are also making other recommendations in terms of steps that governments can take to strengthen the various state institutions, as well as some of the loopholes in the laws governing our public finance management, so that they can enhance the management of our public finances. We should all take active interest in this, so that we can direct the questions to the appropriate quarters, be it the central bank, be it the Ministry of Finance, or our members of parliament. We have the finance committee. Now we have a budget committee in parliament. All these are avenues where we can channel our questions and ask our duty bearers to answer, and we can hold them accountable, so that they do things that will serve our best interest. It has very little text. That is the whole idea. It's not supposed to be verbose. It's supposed to be very simple, so that when you come on it, you are able to understand what it's all about. That extended credit facility, which provides financial support to help Ghana address its balance of payment challenges and promote economic stability. And so here it tells you what type of bailout it is. That is the ECF, that is economic, extended credit facility, which has already been explained there. The amount involved, $3 billion. Over how many years? That is 3 years. What are the objectives for the program or for the bailout? The first one is macro economic stability. And in simple terms, that is to heal our sick economy. So in ordinary man's language, the economy is sick. You understand? Then the second objective is debt sustainability. So that it enables Ghana to pay our debt. When your debt is not sustainable, you're unable to pay your debt. And for every program, if your debt is not sustainable, you don't qualify. That's why it's always preceded by a debt sustainability analysis.